Hi everyone, my name is Jeff Starr and I am a Sitar student. This is my 7-year anniversary of being a Sitar student. So what does that mean? Well, this year has been a big challenge for me as a student. As a human being, it's been awesome. I'm really excited because this year I became a father for the second time. I have an amazing family. I love my kids so much. It's just that's been super rewarding. I feel really, really, really lucky. I want to spend every possible moment like with them and just being a dad and trying to share my interests with them and just watching them go through their own milestones of like rolling over and doing all their little things to walking and talking and just becoming little people with their own passions and senses of humor and all sorts of stuff. But if you have kids, you might know that they're pretty exhausting. And at the end of the day, you might not have the most amount of energy to go and say, hey, all right, I'm gonna go practice now. You might want to just lay down and fall asleep. And occasionally, maybe you do find the energy to go and practice, and then you give an infant wakes up crying or life is life, right? Life happens. And if you know my channel well enough, you may have seen a video I did last year where I show how I make an actual tracking sheet at the beginning of each year to track how many days I'm practicing, how long did I practice for, what's the average number of minutes I practiced for that year, what did I work on, just sort of like a diary of practicing, right? And I use that to sort of motivate myself to see if the numbers for the number of days I practiced in 2018 is greater than 2017, and is that greater than 2016? And did I practice for an average amount of time longer one day versus the other? That number has always been yes. I've always increased the amount of time I've practiced, and that's always been the goal. And this year, that didn't happen. There was about 6 months where my practicing really took a hit. I might not have practiced for 4 days at a time, and then I'd practice, a couple days, and then I might go a week, and then I'd practice, every day. All right, I got to get back on track. I got to practice every day. And then I'd do that, and I'd get about like 4 days in, and then I'd miss a day, and then I'd practice again, and I'd try to make that a really long day to make up for it. And then maybe I went not practice for 2 weeks. And that makes it really hard to make progress. And same thing sort of with lessons. My lessons became a little bit further apart from one another, which is really hard. I really encourage, if you want to learn the sitar, get a teacher. If you can't find a teacher in your area, you can find a teacher online. Information for my teacher is in the description. The big thing, and this is so after 7 years, like, all right, what's the tip? What's the thing I'm going to say, right? And it's not just, okay, if you want to learn the sitar, it's a hard instrument. It's not just practice, practice, practice. It's practice consistently. Because if you have big ups and downs and long gaps, what's going to happen is you will have learned some stuff, and then you'll take some time away. And not only when you come back will you be like, rusty, but if you take too much time away, you'll actually start regressing. And that's not good. This is a hard physical instrument. And so if you want to progress at all, you need to find a regular regimen of practicing. Okay, every day for 5 minutes. Every other day, for 10 minutes is better than missing a week and doing nothing. Because just the physical aspects will go away, but also your mental aspects about like, oh, what was I doing this? How was I doing this? This is especially important if you have like a lesson and your teacher like gives you corrections and play it, oh, you're doing this little few things wrong. If you then don't like practice for like 2 days, you're not going to remember what you were doing, especially if we're talking fine, minute details. And don't worry about like, well, what should I be playing? I've been practicing for so long. Like, should I be playing this or playing that? Or no, don't worry about where down the road. Worry about now, where you are and you're practicing. Worry about being good at that. Because if you're not good at that, you'll never get better. And if you're never going to get better, you'll never move to those other places. You are where you are because that's where you are. And just focus on practicing consistently. And that's the main thing that'll help you get better to maintain everything. Because if you're not maintaining, you can't grow. And if you have too much time away, you'll actually go backwards and get worse on the instrument. And you don't want that. You put in a lot of time and effort. I know I have. And every time I pick up the instrument and a couple days have gone by, or those periods where like 2 weeks would go by, boy, was I kicking myself. So this year, I have a couple goals. One, practice more consistently. But also to really reuse this channel as a place for me to share what I'm doing as best I can. So hopefully that means you'll see more sitar content this year. And thank you to everyone who watches these sitar videos. That has been incredibly motivating for me. There's so many nice things that you've said. I really want to give a positive shout out to the sitar community on Reddit. That subreddit's awesome. I'll put a link in the description. It's a great place to go, get questions answered, ask questions, learn just about the instrument. And everyone on YouTube who's posting your own videos, we have our own little sort of small community, and I really hope that we can continue to support one another and leave comments from one another, and hopefully we can find some ways to maybe collaborate over time and help grow this world of the sitar on YouTube. I'm going to go practice. This is going to be a little time for me. This is the first video for 2019 for me. It's about the sitar. There will still be tons of guitar content, and I'm looking to also expand on some of the animation content that I was doing, and maybe some other additional music stuff as well. I'm hoping that this is going to be a really fun year. I have a lot of things planned and scheduled out, so I'm really excited. Once again, thank you to everyone who watches and subscribes and likes these videos and clicks the bell to get an auto alert when I post. Your comments and positivity has been a big, amazing part of why I keep making this stuff, so thank you. So if you're not subscribed, please feel free to do so. And you can always find me over on Patreon, where you can help support me making more content and keeping this little studio up and running because, hey, gotta keep the lights on. But all right, anyways, thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye.